so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver, I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest, though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstated, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you
Oh, Henry! It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, the big man, Derrick Henry, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Tennessee Titans. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
By many accounts, Coach, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the only 6-time Super Bowl champion in league history. In his 20th season now, Tom Brady.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. From the 30 on second down, Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
And this team is coming in off of their open week, and to me, a pretty good time to have it, too, because it's pretty much right in the middle of the season. So I would think that they'll be pretty well rested and ready to go for the second half of the season. But even more importantly, they got a little bit of a mental break as well. That's going to help, too.
Brady's throw on third down there is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And it'll be Titan football. So now the Titans get their first shot on offense. They'll be led out by their 8th-year quarterback now from Texas A&M, Ryan Tannehill.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie. One of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And the offensive starters for Tennessee.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sack, baby! Sack!
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Set up, 18, Gator. Come on. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up. Let's go.
3rd and long, it's Tannehill. Uncorks one for Davis. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet. and say this is what the problem is? Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wait, that 380. Right there in the middle, 55. Here we go, D. All day, 72.
Brady now on first down. And this is incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And now it's second down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This crew against the pass, issues at times. Ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
They're in the bottom 10 in the league. I mean, when you look at their talent, you would think that they'd be much better. Overall, I don't think there's any question you'd have to say that they've underachieved.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Out of the backfield, it's T.J. Yeldon. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 20-yard line.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there? Another great completion.
And you know, one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Well, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch. The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Wait, that's 53. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. 50.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brady into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now a first-time 1,000-yard rusher from a season ago, it's Derrick Henry. It's the Pro Bowl corner, Akeem Talib there to stop it. A look now at our starting defense. This unit, 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. One in running the ball, one in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
All day, dog. 6 guys. Check 6 and go.
On 2nd down now, it's Henry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. Uncorks one for Davis. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Brady. He's got a man complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
To throw again on second down. Brady, he's got his tight end, Jake Butt. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Throwing on first down is Brady. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after one. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Brady going to go on 4th down. And that is going to be incomplete. Bruce Arians takes a shot there, but his guys come up empty. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on a turnover on downs. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
30 base. 50 extra money. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Shoot!
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. It's caught. Humphries. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And they have been disruptive in the passing game, as we're going to see here.
And it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, you cover a guy in your area. And those windows that quarterbacks are seeking to throw into, they're closed in this case.
Yeah, they've been all over the place, knocking down pass after pass. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Throwing now is Brady. He finds Yeldon. And out across midfield down to the 45. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
They'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. The Bucs on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll find Royce Freeman, the running back. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Brady's throw there complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down.
Wide, 80. 54 Mike. Hey, Alabama.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Now Brady. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Brady now on 3rd and goal. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Jake Butt, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A reminder, later tonight, Sunday Night Football, will see a game in the NFL 100 Series, a rematch of the very first AFL-NFL Championship game, later, of course, known as Super Bowl I. It pits the Packers against the Chiefs from Arrowhead, and that should be a fun one. On 1st down, Tannehill. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. To throw is Tannehill, and the pressure gets to him again. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Devontae Freeman. in the final seconds of the first half as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Gostkowski with the extra point.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. The final shot here before the break, Tannehill. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And that'll make it 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's got him in, Corey Davis. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We get things started with a good one in the NFC. Seattle traveling down south to take on Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And that one tied 14 apiece in the second quarter. From there we say, so long, America. Hello, England. As we head over the Atlantic to check out the action in London. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. The Rams still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. A touchdown there for Le'Veon Bell. In the game you're watching, it's who else? Tom Brady with a strong first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He had no options downfield there and just chucked it out of bounds.
There was no one open. He was in the pocket. What was the intentional grounding call?
Oh, you wanted the flag.
Of course I did. I'm a defensive guy. You know that. Where was the flag? The officials point out that someone was in the area. He got away with one.
Well, that's how you convert on third down with an explosive gain of 34.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step off.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. He hits Gronkowski on the out route.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On third down, Devontae Freeman. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They only get two there, but on third and one, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll try the jet sweep here. The safety, Rashad Jones, brings him down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 13-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to fight.
Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, his second touchdown on the season as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Gostkowski, the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
A nice run on first down gets him 6 yards to the 31. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now it's Tannehill. Got a man. It's Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down. Tannehill now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Derrick Henry. Terrell Suggs in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And that is going to do it. for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From just shy of midfield, Tannehill nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Terrell Suggs able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a quick...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They snap it to Tannehill. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Now Tannehill. He completes it to Henry. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Tannehill. He's going to float this one deep right side. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the 2nd half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Now, hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Brady. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 1st down Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good.
And Freeman lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
On second down, it's Freeman. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now Brady. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Brooks Reed in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Tampa Bay, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they fall 2.
My jewelry coat is chill. Storage treacherous, I